recently finished reading The Devil's Cup by Georgette, and the whole time I was reading this book, I was thinking the Book Talk girlies would so eat this up. Now, I discovered Georgette in the beginning of this year, and since then, she has become one of my favorite authors. I've been steadily making my way through her backlog, and she's just superb, excellent. She wrote between the 1930s and the 1970s, predominantly Regency romances. But you see a lot of blurbs from contemporary historical romances on her books right now. But like you can see how she is a blueprint for a lot of the more historical romances coming out today. A lot of characters, a lot of the plots are coming from her. Her characters are distinct and hilarious. The dialogue is superb. The plots chaotic and crazy and a good time. And this one especially. So technically this is a sequel to These Old Shades, but I think you can read this as a standalone. You just get characters from These Old Shades reappearing here as parents. I think the only thing you might lose is maybe a little bit of their backstory, a little bit of understanding why they act the way that they are, like their personalities. But in general, I don't think it's going to affect because they're not the main focus. And like These Old Shades is a good book. I enjoyed it. I just had a hard time because the main couple had such a big age gap and I just couldn't get past that. But this one was amazing. This is in my god tier. I rank it up there with The Grand Sophie and Black Sheep. This was so good. And it's only 300 pages long. So this one's about the Devil's Cub, who is called that because his father was known as Satan during his heyday. Like they are morally gray. So the Marquise is rich, upper class. His father is a duke. He is a ladies' man. He is known for riding his carriage at an insane speed, racing it, and can shoot straight whether sober or drunk, which leads him into a situation where he has to leave the country, even though he's like, I'll stay, whatever. But his father's like, I recommend you leave. And because of that, he decides, I want to take the new girl that I'm kind of wooing with me, which is also getting him in trouble with his mother and some relatives because she's not a normal opera girl. She's like a gentle, like, of their class, a genteel, but lower, not of his same level, if that makes sense. And this girl and her mother are scheming. They're trying to maneuver the way of getting a marriage out of this. Meanwhile, the girl Sophia, her older sister Mary, was described as a straight-laced by the Marquise on his brief interaction with her. She was educated more. She's a little bit more upstanding morally, level-headed. And when she accidentally gets a letter that's supposed to go to her sister, which from the Marquise saying like, meet me at midnight, we're going to leave the country, she's like, I'll just take her place, and then waits till a certain point to finally reveal herself and make it as though it's a whole joke, forgetting that the Marquise is also known for his temper. And he decides, I'm just going to kidnap you because one girl's good enough for the other. Like, whatever. You're both the same to me. You're going to do the same thing, thinking them much lower class than they are and hinting like, you're going to be my mistress. And she's like, nope. And proves that she's not of that class or wants that or is in a floozy or whatever by shooting him in the arm. And he goes, oh, wow. You are actually better bred than I thought. I'm going to marry you. So not to ruin your reputation. She's like, what? I don't want to marry you. So this whole cat and mouse chase where like he's not a good person, but he steadily is falling in love with her. And she does have a crush on him, but she's like, I can't do this to him or me. It's not good. It wouldn't be a good situation. And so she keeps like running away and he's chasing her to the ends of the earth. It's like a miscommunications are kind of going on. It felt very Shakespearean at one point, the drama. Like it was just so good, and it's only 300 pages. Like I said, I cannot recommend this book enough. I think like if you like those book talk kind of books with like a very morally gray character, but he's not morally, well, he's still kind of morally gray with her, but he changes his ways a little bit. But she wrangles him because she is not one of those girls who's gonna faint. She's level-headed and she can control him, which pleases the mother. So like there's so many good things about this book. I cannot recommend it enough. I highly recommend you check out Georgette. I think this is a great like gateway book for anyone who hasn't read her book or that many Regency romances or maybe even historical actual like how to describe it, Regency romances from like that aren't contemporary, that aren't coming out today. You're going to see a lot of like similar plots and characters. Like I said, I think this is a great one, and I just highly recommend this offer in general. I've been having such a good time. I literally do not want to read any other book but hers, and I have to force myself, but it's so hard because once I start, I just want to keep going. Highly recommend.